Hi, welcome back. Today's video is going to be for all of my sheer invisible queens out there, if you will. I've done, light coverage, favorite light coverage product videos, but I wanted to really pull out the big guns and show you some products that I think are like truly invisible on the skin. I'm talking when you look at someone, you're like, was she born with it? Is she wearing makeup? You know what I mean? Stuff that really I find looks, even in real life, super skin-like and natural on my face, just like highly undetectable. So I've got a pretty long lineup compared to a lot of my recommendation videos. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, so obviously Complexion is going to be the strong front runner in this video. So I've got about 5 or 6 Complexion products to talk about in regards to base. And the first I want to talk about is pretty much, in my opinion, like the ultimate sheer invisible base. Like I'm not sure if I have anything in my collection that is more invisible or undetectable on the skin than this product right here, and it's the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. This has been something I've been wearing for years. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I just feel like most of the time it's a 50-50 thing. Personally, especially in the summertime, I just find that it looks so healthy and natural on my skin. I love a good tint. I don't always need something to have a lot of pigment in it. I'm saving concealers for another category, but I did want to talk about the Glossier Stretch Concealer with the Perfecting Skin Tint because I feel like this is the dynamic duo, and you can also find it on their website in like a value set. So this is just, ultimate sheer summer base for me, these two products. The concealer does have a glowy finish to it. Most of these products you'll find that I'm talking about are more on like the satin side because for me, for something to be completely like invisible, undetectable on the skin, I don't want it to be too matte and I don't want it to be too glowy. This concealer is a little bit more on the glowy side, but I actually have no powder on my face whatsoever today. And I just feel like once you get everything on top of it, it kind of just blends in and looks really natural on the skin anyways. Back to these two products together. This concealer is going to give you a light coverage. So with these two products together, you're definitely not going to exceed the light coverage range. You're going to stay in that range, but you can get a little bit of extra coverage if you layer this on top of the skin tint. And I think that's what a lot of people are just looking for, maybe to conceal a little bit of redness, maybe a blemish. This can do that for you. It's not going to be obviously a super opaque pigment, but it's going to distract from certain areas that you might not want to be as noticeable. So ultimate sheer invisible combo, this is it. Now, if there is one other thing that could be more invisible and undetectable on the skin, it's actually what I just talked about in a previous video. It's my Charlotte Tilbury Unisex Healthy Glow. I also talked about the Maybelline Smart Shade Skin Tone Matching Makeup being a nice little dupe for it. I mix these with moisturizer. It gives you the ultimate skin tint, invisible, no texture finish. You know what I mean? Like if you have a lot of texture on your skin and you're completely trying to avoid that, I often talk about how you unfortunately have to avoid things that have a ton of pigment in them. So this is something that can give you that really nice tint to the skin without picking up on extra texture. So if you want to know more about this, I've raved about it in previous videos. I'll link them down below. Let's take it back old school. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to bring up this product and also just throw in a quick little demo. MAC Face and Body. A lot of buzz about this because MAC did repackage it, and I believe they added some new shades to the lineup recently. I was kind of out of the loop. When this launched, I was on maternity leave, and I was getting a bunch of messages, mixed messages from people saying, is the formula different? Is it just repackaged? It is confirmed that the formula on MAC Face and Body, it's still supposed to be the same. They just have supposedly added new shades, which I didn't even investigate when I ordered this. When I ordered this, I was under the impression that the formula might be different, and it's not. So I just ordered my normal shade, which is N2, and it's completely the same in my opinion. Now I can see if they added new shades, those shades could potentially maybe feel different, have a different formula because they just weren't a part of the original lineup. But as far as my new bottle of Face and Body goes, it's the same, smells the same, applies the same, looks the same. So this is wonderful product that looks absolutely undetectable on the skin. To the point that you let it, you can build this up and it can become a little bit more of the medium to leaning into medium full coverage category. I normally find that I just get like a solid medium coverage with it, but it's the formula that's so special. It's very high water content. Again, eliminating a lot of pigment is going to result in less texture showing on the skin. And if you're confused about what I'm talking about, I'm going to link a video down below that I did a couple years ago talking about how you can't really hide texture on your skin by layering products on top of that. And I kind of get more in detail on why high water based products are really good for texture. So not a ton of pigment floating around in here. It's very high water content, but it's very buildable. And it just has always looked completely beautiful on the skin. For the entire almost 10 years that I freelanced and did wedding makeup especially, this is the foundation that I would use. It's waterproof, it's buildable, it just looks so beautiful on the skin. It's really flexible. You can layer things on top of it and it's just never going to look too overdone. So very high on my list for the complexion category, and you all have been knowing. This baby's been hyped for years on my channel. So this is a fun one. It's the Cosis Tinted Face Oil, and this was something that I just, when I got it, I was like, I'm either gonna love this or hate it. And I'm happy to report that I really do like it. I was wearing it back when I was struggling with perioral dermatitis and I wanted something that, again, gave me a bit of coverage but wasn't overwhelming on my skin. This has more coverage than what you would think when you read tinted face oil. It definitely can be built up to, again, like a medium coverage. It also has a very nice satin finish to it. It's not overly dewy, and you would think in a face oil it would be super dewy, but it's not too glowy on the skin, but it's also not a matte finish. So again, that's the type of finish I'm looking for when I want something that is really natural and undetectable. The Cosis oil is way more like feathery lightweight. Like, I love the texture of it. Very easy to blend with the fingers. And I just find that it is super natural on the skin. And for those of you who love like the oil products, this is something you're really gonna like. Last but not least, here we have Old Faithful Neutrogena Hydro Boost Skin Tint. Like, it's been a while, I know, since I've talked about this, but she's still riding strong. I oftentimes pull this out again in the summertime. It is just beautiful. It is the best, one of the best. I don't know, it could be the best drugstore complexion product. I think I've referred to it as the best in the past, but I have reviewed a lot of drugstore stuff in the past year. I'm still gonna go with this as like, obviously tops, but it's probably the best. Number one, unique formula. It's a gel-like texture, which just looks so hyper realistic on the skin. It truly looks like your skin, but better. It has the perfect amount of coverage to it, especially for that just natural summertime glow. And I don't know, there's something about it that I've always found to look really youthful. So if you are wanting that youthful, hydrated look to your skin, look no further. Neutrogena Hydro Boost, it's just like tops. And also, I love the applicator on it. It's got one of the doe foot applicators. She's just always been a winner. She's always been a winner for me. Okay, let's swing it back to concealers, shall we? I truly didn't have that many to talk about because if I'm gonna F with a concealer, I do want it to have a bit of coverage to it. I don't want a concealer that is so sheer that it's just wasting my time applying. You know what I mean? So I don't have a ton of lighter coverage concealers, but I do have two that I think are almost like multi-purpose. I don't know, I guess one might say universal for most skin types, most skin tones. The first is actually a newer one from Mercier, and it's the new Secret Camouflage Brighten and Correct Duo Pen. Or stick. So you're probably familiar with the Mercier Secret Camouflage kind of compacts that they've always had. Those, to me, always had a little bit more of a thicker texture to them. And the new pens are just so like fresh and healthy looking. And the reason I think that these are like a little bit more useful, universal, multi-purpose is because you do have a corrector and a brightener in this little stick. So one side's your corrector, one side's your brightener. The corrector has a bit more pigment to it. So if you need to hide a blemish or if you have dark circles under your eyes, this is a very like creamy, natural looking formula that's gonna help you correct that. And then there is a brightening side. It's very sheer and it's just kind of gonna illuminate that under eye area a little bit more. But overall, I'm really impressed with the formula on this little stick right here. Very portable, very easy to use. Okay, and then we have another drugstore option. This is one I've not had the opportunity to use on camera a lot. It's the L'Oreal True Match Eye Cream in a concealer. So, I mean, if that doesn't scream natural, lifted eyes, I don't know what does. It is a very nice creamy formula. It has a 0.5% pure hyaluronic acid in it, and it's just one of those products that looks healthy. I don't find that it looks crepey. I find that it applies very easily. Love applying this with my fingers, and just overall a good drugstore product to look into if you want something that truly does look invisible but is worth your while applying. It is going to show some results in whatever you're applying it on, whether that be your under eye area or a blemish or redness. So yeah, I do prefer this for the under eye area in general. Like, I'm not using it all over my face. I just do a couple dots on the under eye and I'm good to go. All right, so we're getting into the fun stuff, which is blush. It's blush for me, which is really funny because I'm not a big blushy person in terms of high color blushes or really pink blushes. I'm very neutral about my blush colors, but I'm obsessed. Like, that's probably my most filled makeup drawer, and it has been for a long time. So for me, there's nothing that compares to an ultra hyper realistic blushed look than my Daniel Sandler watercolors. I swear, I don't talk about something for 4 or 5 videos and people are like, are you still using this? Like, I haven't seen you use this. Are you still using it? So yes, on the reg, on the daily, I'm using Daniel Sandler watercolors. If you are new to my channel and you don't know my obsession with these, I will link some of my videos down below. These are, again, nobody makes anything that is comparable to a Daniel Sandler watercolor. To this day, nothing on the market I've found is even comparable to these guys right here. So several colors are made in the watercolors, and obviously you would just choose based on your skin tone for something that is really natural and visible, undetectable. The two that I want to talk about in particular for my skin tone are Rose Glow and also Golden Glow. So I'm wearing Rose Glow on my cheeks today. I don't have the Golden Glow on, but I will insert a little shot. I think I did a shot of me applying this earlier in the week. These are just truly beautiful, soft, natural, undetectable on my skin. All of the watercolors are, because they are just so uniquely made, and the formula is sheer, it's breathable, just gorgeous, gorgeous formula. Rose Glow is actually intended to be, I think, a highlighter, more of like a highlighter, but if you do have a fair to light skin tone, it's gonna come off a little bit more blushy on you. And then the Golden Glow is that perfect hybrid between a blush and a bronzer. Sometimes I'll use it as more of a blush, sometimes I'll just use it all over as a bronzer. If you're someone that doesn't like really orange, terracotta, or you just find that bronzers look orange on you in general, this is something to look into because it is a very unique color. I don't want to say that it is red in undertone, but it just has this nice rosy hue to it, which sometimes just translates as a blush. So I just love both of these. They're probably my most used other than maybe Angel. Angel is another one that's very similar to Rose Glow. I will list my favorite shades down below. I also generally do have a coupon code for Daniel Sandler watercolors on Look Fantastic or Skin Store. They're owned by the same company, so they always generally offer me a coupon code because they know you all love these, they know I love these, and generally it is for like 15 to 20% off your purchase of a watercolor. So I'll leave it down below, and yeah, nothing like them. So this is a new product I discovered, and it's the Flower Beauty Blush Balm. Now, I prefer the Flower Beauty Gel Crush sticks, but they don't really make those in like natural colors. They're a little bit more on the brighter side. So when I ordered this blush balm, I was expecting this color to be like more of a brighter peach coral. It's not. It's a very natural skin tone color, and it's in the shade Pinched. I just find that the blush balms do come in a couple shades that are just a little bit more natural. But I do prefer the formula of the gel crushes, if that makes sense. Because I know I've raved about gel crushes. They're just a lot brighter and a lot more visible on the skin, so I didn't find them completely appropriate for this category. But this is a great dupe for Glossier's Cloud Paint. Specifically, this color is a wonderful dupe for Dusk, the cloud paint from Glossier, and I find that there are hardly any differences in the formula. They're almost identical. So yeah, if you want to save a few bucks, the blush balms are a little bit cheaper than the Glossier cloud paints. I know those are highly hyped up, but this is a very sheer liquid formula. So if you're someone that doesn't wear a ton of powders, you just like a little tint on the face, like you're wearing something like the Cosis, or you're wearing something like the Neutrogena skin tint, this would layer perfectly on top. It is very high water-based. So again, not a ton of pigment going on, but it just looks youthful, really easy to apply, very undetectable on the skin. This is something I haven't really hyped up enough, but I did happen to recently stumble upon a dupe for it, so I'm going to talk about both. The Rare Beauty blushes, specifically the matte ones, the more moussey textured ones. I find that these just blended the skin really seamlessly compared to a more dewy formula. She has the dewy, and then also, I think these are called matte. But I have the shade Bliss, which is like this perfect soft peachy pink tone for my cheeks. It doesn't overwhelm my face, but it makes me have that youthful, just kind of like innocent pink glow. So I really love this shade, and I love how it applies. This tiny tube would last you for ages. However, recently I talked about the new NYX Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tints. Very similar formula, very moussey in texture. The only difference is that obviously the shades that I have are not the same. I have not really investigated further in either of these categories, the shade selection, so there may be some possible dupes in the NYX version for the Rare Beauty, but I just know formula-wise, they are very, very, very similar. I don't think the NYX one would last you as long, but again, most of you are out here willing to like try new things. So once you've used something up, I feel like you're probably like me. You want to move on and try something new, unless it is just an absolute staple for you. But ultimately, both really good natural blush formulas. if you're willing to splurge a little bit, if you think you might like this Bliss color better, it is a really unique shade, I think, then I would say go for it. If not, these are lovely as well. So I have one bronzer product to talk about, and I'm a little pissed because I would be talking about my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, Hollywood contour wand. However, some awful decision has been made to either they're not anywhere, they're not available anywhere online. I actually talked about the Beauty Light wands. I love the Glowgasm Beauty Light wands in Pinkgasm and Peachgasm. I talked about those in a recent video. Everyone wanted to purchase them, and then they were just completely wiped from Charlotte Tilbury's website, from Sephora, anywhere that sells Charlotte Tilbury. You just cannot find the Hollywood Beauty Light wands or the contour wands. 10 out of 10 would have talked about them today, but at the time of filming this video, I don't know if they're repackaging. I'm thinking that could be it because they are really popular products. I don't see them being discontinued, but a lot of people did hate the packaging, so I'm just wondering if something's happening with that. I don't know. If you've heard anything, please let me know, because your girl is a little twisted about it. But luckily, a few months ago, probably back in like December, January, I purchased something that I'd been meaning to try for a long time, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. I placed a little QVC order. I mean, QVC is still got it. Like, they have got some good values, some good deals, and this is where I purchased this product, but it's the bareMinerals Bare Pro Glow Bronzer. I have faux tan. I think that they may only make warmth now in this. If they do have faux tan, I'll list it down below, of course. Either way, I think the formulas are the same. The colors are just slightly different. So this is their liquid version of their powder bronzer, and I was not expecting much from it when I ordered it. I was just like, okay, it's gonna be like a sheer, you know, liquid bronzer. My problem with a lot of liquid bronzers is that they are too sheer. Like, you put them on top of your makeup and they either disturb what you've already put down, or they just don't have enough pigment to them. And this one, I'm pleased to report, is a really great just combination, perfect amount of pigment, perfect amount of blendability. I also really enjoy the color. So when you pump it out, you're gonna notice that there are some slight shimmer particles. And I get asked this a lot when I mention this bronzer, if the shimmer is detectable. And I have never noticed shimmer on my face. It always just looks pretty flat. There is a bit of glow coming from it, but I think that's just the nature of it being a liquid. So the reason I am such a fan of this is it really does pack a punch when it comes to pigment. I want a little bit of pigment when it comes to my bronzer because I want my face to show that color. Especially now, since I decided to self-tan and I'm basically miss patches. If my face is a little patchy in some areas, it's because I just thought I would get frisky, apply self-tanner for a week and think it was going to be okay, but my eczema was like, no, I'm here to remind you this is why you don't self-tan. Anyways, so this has quite a bit of pigment to it, and it's really easy to apply. I actually find it to be, dare I say, a little similar to my Charlotte Tilbury one. So I have been using this in place. I wouldn't say I've been using it in place because I actually have a backup of my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood contour wand, but I've been using this more because I know that I was going to talk about it eventually. So I wanted to make sure that it, you know, made the list, and it does. It's a nice product. Okay, brows, again, very straightforward. I feel like you're gonna get the most natural or invisible type of look with either just a brow gel, or I do find, I mean, I hate to say this because I don't use these a ton, but when I do, I just always find my brows look super natural, especially if I use them in the right way. Sometimes I get a little crazy with my hands and they just look a little too overdone. But any of like the brow markers, brow style markers, I hate to call them that because it kind of sounds like you're just marking up your brows with a Sharpie, but I'm going to use Glossiers as an example because I think they are the most natural. These are the Brow Flicks, and they're essentially just felt tip, that's what I should call them, the felt tip brow products. I just find that they do look super natural. You can really mimic your brow hairs, and I like to use the shade Blonde on my eyebrows because even though I have like a darker brown style hair, I feel like my brows have enough color that if I just, I mean, I can go very overboard with the color very quickly. I also have the brown shade, but I just always find that they end up looking almost black when I use that one. So yeah, just like a good clear brow gel with one of these guys. I mean, I don't know if you can call it invisible, but it's natural. Okay, we're moving on to eyes, baby. I have some newbies here that I want to talk about. I've used these in a video in the past, but they are the Giorgio Armani. I think these are Eyes to Kill eye tints. They just say eye tint on the bottom, but basically they are super sheer, shimmering eye tints, and they're beautiful. Okay, this particular color, number 31, it's like a frosty white. It looks so good on the eyes. Actually, they're very easy to apply. Let me just pop one on for you, even though I did a little demo showing how to apply them. I want to show you really quickly how they transform the eyes. Hope you can see from back there. Okay, so this is 31, and I'm wearing Laura Mercier Caviar Stick and Au Naturel right now. I'm just going to pop this on over the top. Oh, it's so pretty. So boom, just like that, we've got a nice bit of transformation going on with the eye. I just think these definitely could be used as like toppers depending on what color you buy. This number 31 shade, easily a topper shade, or you can wear it by itself, which I think I showed in the demo, and it is pretty sheer, but it's so reflective and pretty. I think that these are, oh yeah, so pretty, lovely, easy to apply. Okay, yeah, brief intermission for that little application, but these are so pretty. A few of the really natural tones that I have are number 31, number 12, and number 9. So yeah, these are just sheer beautiful eye toppers. They're going to look glowy. They're going to look, some of them aren't as shimmery as this one that I just put on my eye. Some of them have a bit more of a satin finish to them. I think they do come in a few different finishes, but again, like I pulled out the Rare Beauty dupe for you, I'm going to pull out a dupe for these as well. And they really do remind me of the L'Oreal Brilliant Eyes liquid eyeshadows that I talk about frequently. The difference is the Brilliant Eyes to me have a bit more of a metallic finish, whereas these, like I mentioned, they have this kind of transformative finish to where they're very high shine, but it's very glittery. It is like a glitter top coat, but in a super natural way, not in I often talk about the Bodyography pressed pigment glitters, not like that. You can see it's reflective but not overwhelming. So if that makes sense, the L'Oreal ones, I think there is a pretty similar color in the L'Oreal to this Armani Eye Tint that I just used. I have the lightest shade that I have is 415 Diamond Drop. But I think that there is like a very pretty, like almost white toned in the L'Oreal. I will list it down below if there is, but if you're just not, don't want to splurge on the Armani, I totally get it. These would be a close second. So obviously, we're gonna throw in a Caviar stick or two. Bobbi Brown also makes some really nice natural cream eyeshadow sticks. I know some of you prefer hers. I have a few of those and I like them. I do use them, the shade Dune, Sand Dune. I have been using that one for years. It's very similar to Au Naturel, which is what I'm wearing on my eyes from Laura Mercier right now. I would just say out of like the whole Caviar stick lineup, any of the matte tone shades are going to appear more skin-like, more natural, and you can definitely find something that corresponds with like your undertone. So Au Naturel is a good, nice, neutral kind of skin tone color if you're in the light to medium skin tone range. If you are in the medium to tan skin tone range, caramel would be a good option. Obviously, if you are in the dark to deep, cocoa is a really beautiful color that I use daily. It's my favorite Caviar stick. So, and cocoa isn't completely matte. It's got a little bit, it shows up matte on me. I never pick up on any type of like glitter in it, but you can see like a soft reflex happening. But yeah, any of the matte ones are just super natural, really pretty, easy to apply. So I'm pulling out an eyeliner because, I mean, I get it. I'm not a big eyeliner person. I don't wear it daily, but some of you all are. And one of my most natural ones that I love applying because it's number one, a dupe for a really high-end eyeliner that I enjoy, and number two, it's just easy to apply and it looks pretty. It's the Maybelline Line Express eyeliner, and this is a very smudgeable, easy to apply, almost like powder and pencil form. It's 10 out of 10, a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Classic Powder Eye Pencil, which I used for years until I discovered this one, and they're just identical that now I use the Maybelline one. This is not a long wearing eyeliner. It's not going to be like your Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On where you put it on and it's going to last all day. It truly does almost apply like an eyeshadow, and that's why I like it, because most of the time I use eyeshadow as my eyeliner anyways. But if you like that precision kind of application, you might prefer this. So yeah, very smooth, velvety texture. It's got a little smudger on the end, and when you smudge it out, it's soft and hazy. It's not a straight visible line like a liquid liner or even a gel liner. It has a nice hazy consistency to it, and for that, we love her. Okay, we have made it to the end. Lips. Again, I feel like this is a very subjective category depending on your skin tone, depending on if you consider like a gloss to be invisible or if not. But I'm going to throw at you some recommendations because that's what I'm here for. If you are a clear lip person, then these are two that are just going to make your lips look juicy. They're gonna make your lips look youthful, healthy looking. The first is Lanol Lips Lip Water. This is technically a lip balm. It does have like some reflective particles in it, and it is slightly minty, so I do find that it makes your lips plump a little bit, not in a way that like a buxom lip gloss would, but it makes your lips look ultra shiny, ultra healthy, really plump. And I don't know, I think with like a no makeup look, really invisible makeup, this is just going to enhance, especially if you already have naturally pigmented lips, really going to help enhance them. Glossier's Clear Gloss. I don't know what it is. I will die right now saying that this is somehow the most stunning lip gloss, dare I say, in my collection. And look at it. It's just this little like measly clear gloss tube. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what the formula is. It just looks so wet. It looks, I feel like I'm describing a porno right now. It's just stunning, okay? I can't take it any further because I might just keep getting like inappropriate with the description. It's just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal lip gloss. And again, you just look at it and you're like, it's clear, whatever. Also, the red version of this, it's a stunner too. It doesn't come off red. It has this slight pink hue to it that if you're like me, don't have a ton of pigment to your lips, it's gonna add a bit of color and then it's gonna look stunning because it's the Glossier lip gloss formula. Love these. They are gonna be for my sheer clear lip queens out there, but something about them. Let's talk about what I'm wearing right now. This is something I discovered a few months ago, and the formula is truly unlike anything I've ever discovered before. Another Armani product. It's the Armani Ecstasy Mirror lip glosses. Now, lip glosses are a stretch, okay? This formula, I feel like it's 3 different lip products in one. So when you apply it, it looks like a matte liquid lipstick. I was like freaking out when I first used this because I was like, okay, this is not going to be me. It's going to make my lips look dry. We're not having it. And then it transforms. So it goes on almost like a liquid lipstick. You feel like it's very, I don't know, it just looks very matte at first. And then when you start rubbing your lips together, it doesn't feel like a gloss in the slightest. After it's sat on your lips for about 10 to 20 seconds, you kind of start feeling like it's transforming into a lip balm. It has this very comfortable feel to it. And then at the end, it slides in and somehow becomes really shiny on the lips. So I can't explain it. I don't know what the formula is with this, but it takes on like 3 different stages. And it's super natural. I have the shade 100. I think it's called Infinite Beige. There are a few other really natural colors, natural tones. I would say the color lineup is really good in this, but I've never tried a lip product like this before. It also stays on really well. And I think that's where, like in the beginning, it feels like that liquid lipstick consistency. I don't think it's truly like transforming on camera like I'm looking at it right now. On my lips right now, it looks like I've just applied a lip gloss, like a peachy neutral lip gloss. It is so incredibly shiny. I don't know how they do it. I'm gonna get closer. All right, and to finish this up, we're going to talk about some lip balms. I'm a self-proclaimed lip balm addict. I see a lip balm literally at checkout in Walgreens, and I have the temptation to purchase it. I'm talking like cherry chapstick, circa 1991. You know what I mean? I'm addicted. I'm addicted to lip balms, and these are some that I really enjoy. A couple of these are new. I guess I'll start out with the new ones because this is a really interesting formula. It's the new bareMinerals Mineralist Lip Gloss Balm. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, it's a lip gloss. They're just gonna write it off as lip balm, and maybe it's like slightly more comfortable on the lips. Maybe it has like some coconut jojoba oil in it. You know what I mean? But these do really feel like a lip balm. Like when you apply them, they do have the shine of a lip gloss, but they feel very emollient like a lip balm. So I have been enjoying these. Especially for quick makeup application days. The 2 shades I've been using the most are Ingenuity and Trust. Ingenuity is kind of like your classic just beige tone, and Trust has a bit of a pinky peach coral. Reminds me a lot of NARS Orgasm. And then a couple other shades that are really invisible, skin tone, can barely tell that they are there. Peace and Heart. So yeah, these are a lovely formula from bareMinerals. Wasn't expecting to like them as much as I do, but I feel like I'm wearing a lip balm when I wear these. Lasting power on these, not great. I do reapply these often throughout the day, but I think that's kind of standard with any type of like glossy formula. The Persona E Balms, these are really lovely. I'm always a fan of Persona lip products, and I was really excited to see lip balms added to the gloss collection and the lip liner collection. So the shade that I find to be the most natural on me is called Meditate. I will include swatches, but I did do a lip swatch video on my Instagram. These are, again, not the longest wearing, but I feel like if you're the type of person that wears lip balm, you're reapplying it throughout the day anyway. So it is a nice little handy guide to keep in your purse. And I do love the shade selection. It's not overwhelming. I feel like there's something for everyone. You have a good nude neutral tone, you have a nice medium tone brown, and then there's also a red, which can translate pretty red on you if you're fair skinned, or if you have darker skin, it's probably just going to come off as like a sheer coral or pink on you. So yeah, I really enjoy the formula on these. Okay, we're done. I feel like I have pulled out half of my collection at this point. I hope you got some good recommendations. Let me know if there is a product out there that looks completely invisible, undetectable on your skin, because I want to know about it. I need to keep adding to my collection because I don't have enough, obviously. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.